Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're in New York City. And today we're going to talk about are some of the scams you might see when you're here in New York. And I want to let you know, the scams here in New York have gotten a lot better over the years of my times coming here. I mean, not better at they're getting better at it, but it's like getting better for us as tourists to enjoy the city. So don't let this video kind of scare you away from visiting New York, because this place is awesome and everyone should come here. But we need to be prepared. And I think one of the scams that you'll see sometimes, it's not really always a scam, it just might scam you in certain things you order, is if you go to any vendor, like any food truck or wagon or hot dog thing, any vendor, and they don't have a price, okay? You want to make sure you see the price for that hot dog, for that slice of pizza or whatever, because you don't want to get a hot dog and say, oh yeah, I want a hot dog, give me with whatever on it, whatever is the local New York style is, and instead of getting like a $3 or $4 hot dog, you get a $10 hot dog with a bunch of stuff on it. So do be aware of that kind of scam that's out there, because it can kind of ruin it when your buddy's having a $4 hot dog and you're having a $12 hot dog and like, what happened? Now, another kind of thing that I feel is a scam that maybe isn't technically a scam, but it's really annoying, is if you go to any shop or any bodega or any like little restaurant kind of thing, any kind of store, and they don't take credit card, they're cash only. But here's the thing, I'm okay with that, but then they have the ATM in their kind of lobby area, so like, oh, we have an ATM right there, and you're like, okay, and then they kind of get you not only buying the stuff, but then you have to pay the fee for getting cash out, so it's kind of like they get you twice, and for me, I feel that's kind of a scam. Now, another thing I want to talk about is the kind of New York version of the bump or the mustard scam or the bird poop scam, you know, that's around the world. This one is someone's walking near you because it's busy and everything, and they kind of bump into you or you bump into them because it gets tight quarters, and they're like, you broke my stuff. Like something drops, whether it's their, you know, their computer or their phone or I don't know, glasses, whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. It's something that has some value, maybe not a ton of value, but some value, and they're like, hey man, you broke my stuff. Like, you got to pay for that. You got to give me something for this. It's a scam. And there might be another person saying, yeah, I saw it, dude, you totally broke their stuff. They're probably working with them. So if something like that happens, you're like, I didn't bump into you, just walk away. They keep going and say, okay, let's go talk to the police. Usually they'll walk away after that. But if not, and you actually did break stuff, then yes, go to the police anyway, because otherwise things can get a little weird, all right? Now, another thing that's gotten better over the years, but still something you have to watch out for, is if you're flying in, and you actually see, I flew into LaGuardia the other day, and they actually had signs all over baggage claims saying, do not take unlicensed taxis. Look, if you're at the airport, the scam is hey, look, I can get you a taxi right here or near a taxi stand by Madison Square Garden. There's a guy saying, oh, I'll get you a taxi. And they're trying to get like extra money from you if they're trying to find you a taxi. Or what they'll do is they'll take you the long way around to get you a much more expensive ride. And since they're unlicensed, there's nothing you can do. So for your safety, to avoid this scam, go to the official taxi lines. Wave down the actual taxi yourself to get the official taxis, or use Uber and Lyft and use their apps. Because believe me, if someone says, oh, I drive from Uber, you want to ride? Go on the app. Okay, just go on the app, all right? And the thing is if you're going to be going around the city, you're going to probably not take Ubers, Lyfts, taxis, all kinds of stuff. You're most likely going to use public transportation. You're going to take the subway. And one scam you see, and this is like in every single big city, is there's going to be somebody trying to sell you their Metro card, to sell you a swipe, or sell you, you know, a thing to get in. Like, hey, I got some money left on my card. Here, can you give me $10 for it? It's got like 10 rides. It's a good deal for you. A lot of times it might have 1 or 2 rides on it. Just buy your own Metro card, or even better, you can actually use your phone and just pay with your phone to get in the Metro. You don't have to deal with getting any tickets, all right? So that could be a lot better than getting scammed by somebody trying to sell you tickets. Now, another scam that I really get upset with, because I see tourists fall for this a lot, is if you're on Times Square or in another place, like you're here during the holidays and, you know, the trees there, and there'll be people dressed up like Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse and superheroes, and they want to get you a picture. They want you to take a picture with them, and if you take a picture with them or you take a picture of them, then they're going to demand a tip, all right? And you look, you don't need a picture of them, but they want that, and if you don't tip them, then they really get kind of aggressive, and for me, I find it's a scam. I'm taking pictures of New York. I'm taking pictures of Times Square. Yes, you happen to be in the picture because you're like jumping in the way. That's not right. And you don't have to tip them, so just be aware of that. If you weren't trying to take their picture and you did and they get all upset, dude, I wasn't taking your picture, all right? But if you are taking their picture on purpose, or you're taking a picture with them, have some bills to tip them, because that is their job. Another scam you might see are, I would like to say, religious groups looking for donations. It could be, as they call them, the fake monks, but I've seen them other religious groups as well, where they're going around saying, hey, can you help donate for a monastery? Can you help for this? Or here's a bracelet for peace. And then you walk away like, oh, give me a donation for it. Like, I don't want a donation, but you already have. And you're like, wow, you don't seem very calm for a priest or a monk or something. So anytime people come up to you and try, with whatever, just be wary of that, okay? And that's why, in terms of people coming up to you, we have what are called the CD hawks. These are guys that are on the corner, they've got CDs, they're, hey, buy my CD, you want to get my CD, buy my CD, and they kind of harass you for it. And honestly, what you need to do is just ignore them, because if you engage with them, they know, I've got them engaged, then I can embarrass them enough that they'll feel obligated to buy my CD. One, who has a CD player anymore? And two, how are you going to play it? And three, when you get home, it's probably a blank CD anyway. So please stay away from the CD hogs, because that's not really cool. And kind of the same way when you're looking at kind of like the comedy show sellers, the Broadway ticket show sellers that are kind of out and about, use official channels to buy your tickets and your music. And speaking of tickets, if anyone promises you they have like a skip the line ticket for the Statue of Liberty, like getting up to the crown, or tickets to the crown they have that they can sell you like on the street, that is not legit, okay? You want to make sure you get the right thing, or you might end up on a tour of the water and not the Statue of Liberty. Now, when you're on the subway, I also think it's important, because this is a big city, pay attention for pickpockets. Now, there's not a ton. I mean, it's not a really big issue, but what I would recommend if you're going to be on the subway, put your backpack in front of you or hold your bag in front of you. One, because then you have your eyes on it, but also two, then you're not whacking people with it. So it's avoiding getting scammed, and you're being a polite subway passenger. Now, another thing that I've seen people fall for before is, again, going back to these tickets. And what you need to realize is some museums actually have free days of the week, or a free day of the month, or a free afternoon, or a free evening, whenever. And the thing is, usually people are paying for tickets for that place. So when you look online, or if you look the book, it's like, oh yeah, that museum is $15. You're like, oh cool, so you're ready to pay $15. It's like, oh, I got a ticket, $15 just for today. You want it? Okay, sure, man. But the thing is, then it's the day that it's free. So the museums you're going to go to, check and see when their free times are, because one, you might be able to get it anyway and save the money, but also two, then you avoid getting, scammed with buying a ticket that was free in the first place. And then there's the infamous going out of business sale. Everything must go. Look, they're not going out of business. They're doing that because you get the fear of missing out. They're trying to get you to come in thinking, I want to get a good deal. No, you're a tourist, you're buying stuff. They know you're not coming back. So it's very easy to scam you because you're not going to do anything. So do avoid some of those businesses. I mean, yes, some actually have gone out of business because pandemic and everything, and life over just in general, the economies and things change. But most of the time when you see those kind of going out of business, everything must go sales, you'll notice that you'll come a year later and they're still going out of business. Is it a scam, or is it just the title of their company? I don't know. Anyway, what are some other scams you've seen when you've been here to New York? Put in the comment section below so we can help out other travelers. And I'll say bye from here in New York.